All right, it's time for the last quick tip for perception. So, the last fundamental force that we run into that affects perception is the complete opposite of what we talked about with positivity bias, and this is negativity bias. Makes sense, right? If we had one, we probably would have the other. And negativity bias, we are always looking for what's going to get us, what's negative, what's bad about a situation, and we'll focus on that instead of focusing on what's good about a situation. So again, as we talked about with positivity bias, negativity bias can influence us in a negative way to have a very negative impression about whatever it is we encounter. If we're talking about interpersonal relationships, we're going to look for the bad in a relationship or the bad in a person or the bad in their message rather than focus on what's really intended in the message, or it might cause us to miss some positive things. So, something happens and we immediately look for the bad and we don't look for the good. And we completely miss the reality again of a situation. So we can be controlled by positivity bias. We could be controlled by negativity bias. And pretty much we all have some of these built into us, right? Rarely do you run into anybody that has all seven because it's hard to have positivity bias and negativity bias at the same time. And it's hard to be primacy affected and recency affected at the same time. But we have some combination of those built into us. And the really important thing to remember is, are those things clouding our judgment? Are those things affecting what we perceive to be, and they're causing us to see a false impression of something, or we're missing part of what's actually there? And as we've talked about several times already, perception is just one small sliver of reality, and my perception is one thing, your perception is something else, and another person's perception is something else. Reality is the combination of all of it. And we've got to remember, are these forces in play? So with negativity bias, you don't want to look at everything from the way I always use Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. The Eeyore could win the lottery, and everybody'd be excited. Eeyore, you won the lottery. You got all this money coming, and then Eeyore'd be, yeah, but I got to pay taxes. Or now I got to find something to do with the money. We always find the negative thing, and we miss out sometimes on the full picture. And all seven of these forces have a tendency to do that. They'll cause us to not see a true, clear picture of what's going on. So that's the seven forces that affect our perception. See you later.